Hey guys, welcome back. This is SirClud. Last time we made it to the Fourth Temple. Let's get this shit started. So, first off, we're gonna have two wolf hosts right here. If you just remember how much of a joke they were earlier in the game. Same trick still works. Yep. Not that hard. So last time I promised you guys I would just kind of tell you guys a story. So, allow me just to kind of set up the pretext here. So, at my high school, there were many different clubs, and my junior year, me and one of my friends figured, okay, we should get involved, maybe join a club or two, and there are two very distinct clubs which stood out to us. There's what was known as the Men's Association and the Women's Association, which were pretty much like Women's Association was a club for girls and planning activities for the girl half of the school populace, and Men's Association was the boys' version. And they wouldn't let us join Women's Association. We tried. We figured it would be a great way to meet girls, but nope, wouldn't let us join. So we joined Men's Association, and about November-ish, the Women's Association hosts what's known as Powder Puff, and for those of you who aren't aware what that is, because I think other school districts do it too, pretty much it's girls playing football. It gets very violent. One year, like, there's a girl who got tackled so hard and beat down by another girl that she bit through her lip. Another one completely destroyed her kneecap, and it got gross very fast. Point is, though, this Powder Puff game happened in November, and then the Men's Association would run a concession stand, and the time we did the junior year, me and my friend were the ones they decided to have make hot chocolate, and that night our club president was very stressed out just from everything he had to do. And he just gave us instructions. Okay, you guys need to make the hot chocolate. Don't you dare make a mess. Be very careful and blah 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 blah. So his first mistake was leaving me and my friend alone in a kitchen. So he had a big pot he wanted us to use originally for the hot chocolate. We thought it would be faster and more efficient if we did about 40 or so little pots. Short answer, yes. But when you make 40 pots of hot chocolate, it kind of makes a much bigger mess that we didn't exactly account for at first. And boy did he get pissed. So he decided that as punishment for pissing him off and making a huge mess, instead of having us deal with it at the moment, he decided that he wanted us to go stand in the parking lot and advertise our concession stand. And so this night in particular, I don't know if you've ever been to Utah in winter, it gets very, very cold. I mean, frigid. It usually starts snowing sometime about mid-October, but that was just the start of it. It got worse. So this night in question, it was about 10 to 15 degrees outside. Later that night it did snow, but it was just very cold, and of course we're advertising hot chocolate to warm people up, because people were not amused at the fact that they're out playing powder puff football anyway in kind of weather. And so me and my friend are just in the parking lot, just kind of advertising, and so it's about a little past halftime when... Ow! Ow! It's a little bit past halftime, it's going very slow, my friend says, well, I'm thirsty, I'm gonna go get a drink. I'm thinking, okay, whatever, you do whatever you want, I don't give a crap. I'm just trying to stay warm. And so he goes off for about 5 minutes and just comes back with this huge glass of water. And I'm not thinking much of anything except then he tripped and managed to spill this water all over me, and at the time I'm leaning against a chain link fence. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? So as I'm fixated on the fact that he just spilled water on me, it's cold enough the water decided to freeze, and I got frozen to the chain link fence, like literally ice all around me, sticking me to a chain link fence. And it's like the ice was actually strong enough attached to my coat. I couldn't exactly break my arms off either, so I'm just stuck to this chain link fence. It's like, really? This did not just happen. This did not just happen. This just happened. Screw it. Yeah. I was not amused. Especially since by the time they broke me off, we had to go clean up our mess from the pots and... Yeah, we weren't exactly the smartest individuals in high school. Not even close. There are many other great stories you can tell about the high school era, too. I mean, my gosh, I have an entire list of things I can talk about. Oh, let's see while I'm running. Let's talk about my sociology class. Oh my gosh, that was a poor idea for a teacher. So, in my high school, the psychology and sociology teacher also has to teach history classes just because there weren't generally enough students taking psychology, and principal felt like, well, he can do this, whatever. So most students would have him sophomore year for World Civ, and they liked the teacher enough that they would just take psychology and sociology class for the teacher, and we were not exactly the most cultured class. A lot of us that took sociology were very, very demented. My favorite way to kind of explain the start of this, the very first day of sociology, we had a assignment thing where we split the class in half, and like we each took on a role based on a number we chose at the start, and we didn't know our role until he gave out the list. We just chose a number. So it's like one person was like a nurse, one person was like a cripple, and like each person had a backstory or whatever. And we were on a boat, but then like the boat would crash, and we had to choose like which 5 people to survive and why. We were very, very horrible about it. I mean, really. It's like one boy was like a cripple, and we decided, screw the cripple, throw him overboard. But that's not an option. He'll just die on the boat. Except throw him overboard. We were just that horrible. We were talking about Jonestown, and for those of you who don't know about Jonestown, a couple decades ago there was a guy named Jim Jones who founded his own pseudo-religion that he believed was prosecuted, and so he moved his entire group down to South America, and when people went to go talk to him or whatever, he went crazy and just had everyone drink grape Kool-Aid laced with arsenic, and had everyone commit mass suicide. And so we're watching this documentary about it, and the specifics of like why he did what he did and what exactly went on, like all the stuff leading up to the mass suicide. And the first day we just got a laugh out of it. The second day, about half of us just brought in grape Kool-Aid, and a lot of people brought in like sugar and flour and started mixing it in, joking it was arsenic. Our poor teacher just didn't know how to deal with us, so he stopped caring. What were some other great ones? There were so many great stories in there. I know sociology is where I came up with my idea for what we know as Hobomon. So, Hobomon was one of the greater things that I did in high school. One day I was just sitting in sociology board while we were watching a movie, and I somehow get the great idea in my head. Why don't I just draw some joke Pokemon or whatever based off of hobos, because they were hobos or whatever, and so it's like I drew like a hobo named a Grimasaur based off of Bulbasaur and just wrote a fake description from it, and then the guy who's sitting next to me just goes, you don't have the motivation to do more than probably 5 of these at most. It's ridiculous. What do? Go buy a notebook and just get a parody ready for all of the original 150 on Pokemon. There were very many of them, like we had Grimasaur, Spew, and boy did it get races fast. And boy do I mean fast. I'm pretty sure during that entire project, if it is a minority, religion, race, culture, gender, I made fun of it. And I was not nice about it either. It's like my Snorlax clone, I just made this really, really fat looking guy with a swastika on his head and named it Mohammed. My Mewtwo was an Obama clone. Yeah. Not exactly cultured, but it was funny. I'll upload some of these over some time. I still have all my original drawings and crap. Gonna have to really work with it because it was done with mostly pen and paper, but oh well, it was fun. And that was our sociology class in a nutshell. Ugh. This dungeon has always been so interesting to me. When I first played Ocarina, this is about where I got by myself the first time, before I really started getting stuck. Just because there's a part later on where you have to shoot an arrow through a torch, and like timing so specific, I didn't think I could do it, and I had to like just restart the game and go get the Inspire, because you can't get the Inspire as an adult. This place just has a lot of memories. Especially Master Quest. When me and Paige did Master Quest, this was one of the funner dungeons for us to figure out, just because it was very easy to get yourself stuck with a specific puzzle. Like, play through it, you'll know which one I'm talking about. Like, Master Quest itself isn't actually that bad, except for Spirit Temple and one room in Ganon's Tower, but my gosh. Ugh. I actually have a job interview in about 3 hours. Wow, that's amazing. So, for those of you who are actually curious, I used to work for a Target back a few months ago, but it was like overnight and seasonal, so my shift would be from typically 2 in the morning until about noon, just unloading trucks and stocking shelves. It really took its wear and tear, especially considering how hostile my coworkers were, and so I did end up having just to quit. And I haven't really done too much since then. Like, I did start up school back in January. I finished writing my book. Yeah, that's right, people. I wrote a book. I'll talk to you more about that next episode just because we'll have more time then, but I've just been kind of looking for stuff to do, and I've turned in a few applications here and there, but first place that really got back to me is this new pizza place that just opened up by the GameStop I regularly go to, and I think it's a win-win situation. I work with pizza, I get to eat a lot, I get... oh gosh, my voice is dying. To be next to a GameStop. I go to GameStop enough that GameStop employees ask me what to play, and I know their inventory better than they do. Ugh. The GameStop. One day I'll post an actual photo of my game collection. It's gonna be more than, well, one picture, because I have more than one bookcase full of games. Like, I seriously have one bookcase just for console games. One console actually holds the game consoles I own. Another bookcase for portable games just from PS Up, and God knows what I have from my collectibles. But yeah, I'll let you guys know how that pizza job thing goes. So yeah, if you can't tell, the temples are much longer than the dungeons from when you were a kid, Link. Just get used to it. You can't fight it. Dive, dive, dive! Alright. So I believe it's that time again. Next time on Legends of Zelda Ocarina of Time, we'll just continue going through a forest temple and most likely actually finish up the place. Alright, until then.